Christmas tree, bang, bang. These are all independent that feed into the servers. And to lose Skype and lose both broadcast consoles, which are not even tied into each other, it was rather interesting. Well, hey, Jeff, I want you to have a great weekend. I enjoyed having you on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Gary. I appreciate it. It's been a fun night. And James, back there, it's been fun. Hope we can do this again.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Okay, my friend. You take care.
You bet.
Okay, night.
Thank you. Have a great night and Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Well, guess what? It's almost time for commercials and a break, James.
I know it, and I'm glad he come on. It worked out. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have him on again.
I don't know. Isn't it kind of strange tonight, though, when you really think about it? Everything started malfunctioning. It was like, first, you couldn't call in on the Skype, right?
No, me and poor Jeff was having anxiety. We was trying our best.
And then I watched one of my broadcast consoles just like froze up. Separate computer system just froze up. That was it, and dumped me off the internet. The next computer over, okay, and everything goes through a massive battery backup, not a little one, a huge one. It'll run all these computers for like 20 minutes or more. We're talking like 8 computers. That's how big a battery backup it is. And then the one that feeds out to the radio station said, "Hey, Gary, good night," click, and it was gone.
Oh, boy.
So it was bang, bang, bang.
Should I hang up this number and call back on my number?
No, we'll stay right where we're at, and I'll deal with this up when I call the other guest.
Okay.
So we're going to go on break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. You're listening to James Krischbaum, the guy who's like in the 70s, and me, Gary Anderson, who is in my early 50s. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark.
I gaze upon the annals of time, one thing that comes through: we are not alone in this universe. It's a thought that rings true. Ancient cave dwellers drew spacecraft on the walls. It's a recurring theme. I've seen the same thing while walking late at night, and I know it's not a dream.
From Malmstrom to Manat, Boston to LA, there are people asking questions and they will not go away. But what has been seen might not be what it seems. The government's shadows dance in the sea.
Tell the truth, they will ridicule everything you say and do. It's all part of a deception. It's a puppet master's tool. And I've seen those craft shut down the silos from 10 miles away, and there ain't nothing that the Pentagon can do. They can make them go away.
From Malmstrom to Manat, Boston to LA, there are people asking questions and they will not go away. But what has been seen might not be what it seems. The government's shadow.
From our compound, from the West Coast to the East Coast to worldwide, both on the internet and terrestrial radio, you're listening to Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark.
Well, it's getting down to 8:31 here Pacific West Coast time. I just hope everybody's having a great weekend. It's getting close to Christmas. You know that, James. It's going to go, it's only the 6th, but I mean, the next couple weeks are going to fly by.
I know it's going fast. I still miss 90-degree weather in July. I'm still stuck in July.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you went from one extreme to the other, didn't you?
I sure did, let me tell you. And then even got more extreme when I had no heat for a day and a half.
Oh, yeah. Boy, it was cold.
30-degree nights is like high 50s, low 60s.
Okay.
Lucky.
Yeah, and let's get our guests on here. Okay, well, do we have our guests here tonight? Well, guess what? Another guest not showing up tonight.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Can you believe that?
And it's only the 6th. It's not even the 13th yet.
I know. So we've had one guest last night. Now another one. It's not there.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't get abducted.
Well, if they haven't, maybe they should. Well, I'm going to try calling one more time. But,
yeah,
it is strange, about these ongoing things about UFOs seem to be, increasing these reports and all this stuff. And I guess where it depends on what part of the country you're at. But let's see. Let's see if we got her. Are you there?
Hold on one second.
Well, let's see if we get... Hi, this is Gary from Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark.
Hi, Gary. Sorry about that. I was expecting you on the other phone.
You know what happened tonight is really funny. Are you familiar with Skype?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what happened is one of my Skypes quit working. I figured I'll figure that out. And then during the first interview, all of a sudden, one of my consoles, we feed out to the internet only for the show, froze up. Then I got another console here that feeds to the radio stations. That one said good night and shut off. And it was like bang, bang, bang. Now these computers are all separate from each other and feed into different servers. So it was rather interesting what was going on tonight.
Okay. That's all right. But I was listening to the show, and I heard you say, oh, the guest didn't show up, and my phone was ringing. I thought you were going to call on my cell phone. I think we got our connections misunderstood. I guess I gave you my my landline originally and then changed it to my cell phone, forgetting that I gave you my landline, so I apologize.
Yeah, well, usually I try to stay away also, anything to do with cell phones, because a lot of times the cell phones just doesn't sound as good as a landline.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Do I sound okay then?
You sound fantastic.
Okay.
By the way, are you into motorcycles by any chance?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, because the picture of you, my wife has a motorcycle jacket that looks just like,
Oh, yeah. People comment on that jacket. No, I had no idea it was such a supposedly cool-looking motorcycle jacket until people kept commenting on it. It's funny.
Oh, it's a nice, cool-looking motorcycle jacket. It's really nice. Anyway, why don't you tell the listeners who you are and what you do?
Well, my name is Constance Briggs, and I'm a metaphysical, spiritual, and cosmic and paranormal writer. So I'm made it my goal to find out more about the mysteries, I think, of this life and of our world and the universe, and try to answer some of the the more interesting questions out there, about where we came from, what's going on. I've written from everything from ghosts to angels, and I find these mysteries pretty fascinating and interesting, and it puts me above the mundane, which is pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
Too. Oh, yeah.
Now, how about the moon?
Mm-hmm.
What your book it covers that? I mean, what we'll start there.
Right. So I like to collect interesting stories. That's one of the things I do, and I wrote the Encyclopedia of Moon Mysteries, Secrets, Conspiracy Theories, Anomalies, Extraterrestrials, and more. After doing research, I literally was starting with angels, and I found an angel story connected to the moon, and in trying to research this, I came across, it's been a couple of years now, but such interesting moon stories, mysterious things that are going on with our moon. And I've just started documenting them, and eventually decided to just publish all of these tales and stories and theories about the moon in this one publication, so people could have easy access to some of these amazing information. That's where it began.
Well, what is some of the stories you can share with us about the moon?
Yeah, so there is so much information. I was trying to decide what to share here with your Night Dreams show that might be more interesting for your listeners. And so I decided to begin with the origin or the question of the origin of the moon. So when I talk to most people, unless they're just buried in the topics of the paranormal, most people see the moon as a dead rock. We've been taught that nothing is going on there. There's no atmosphere, of course. There's no movement. There's nothing. And we also believe that that it was just a catastrophe that created the moon. But in all actuality, scientists cannot tell us with absolute certainty how the moon came to be, what the origin is. Most of us think that that we have that answer, but we really don't. So I'm going to give you a couple of quotes from some of my favorite quotes from scientists to kind of get us started. Many of your listeners may know of Isaac Asimov, who was a professor of biochemistry at Boston University for a while in the 60s, and he's the world's most prolific writer. And one of the things he said when looking at our moon, it was a question. He said, "What in blazes is our moon doing way out there? It's too far out to be a true satellite of Earth. It's too big to have been captured by the Earth. The chances of such a capture having been effected and the moon then having taken up a nearly circular orbit about the Earth are too small to make such an eventuality credible. But then, if the moon is neither a true satellite of the Earth nor a captured one, what is it?" So there are scientists, like I said, who can't explain this. People, ordinary people walking around, see it in the sky, they think it was, it just came to be. But it really is one of the only things I think that we should know about that the scientists just can't explain. In fact, a planetary scientist named William Hartman stated in his book, Origin of the Moon, he said, "Neither the Apollo astronauts, the lunar vehicles, nor all the king's horses and all the king's men could assemble enough data to explain the circumstances of the moon's birth." So with that said, I think that the fact that we don't know what the moon is adds to, of course, the mystery. And then when you look at all of the, what I'm going to get into, all of the strange events on and around the moon, it just, makes you ponder what the heck is going on.
Well, it does. Why don't you tell us some of the really strange things that is going on? I know there's rumors on the backside of the moon there's supposed to be, a civilization or an outpost or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some rumors. There are so many tales and mysteries and rumors, going on. There is a rumor that there is a base on the back of the moon. They've been back there. We don't have any pictures of any such